Well, welcome back, everybody. I hope we had a nice, relaxing week in anticipation of tonight's amazing event. Stewart, Dominion, Stewart. Me and the wife have been getting caught up on Letterkenny for the last 3 weeks in anticipation of the final season being dropped. So I've been, living in Letterkenny with 5,000 people and their problems. It's been kind of fun.
I had 2 random work trips this week, so I'm ready to unwind, but also upwind. Because I don't feel like this is going to be unwinding. It's going to be.
And looking at the calendar, we don't meet again until the 7th of January, as we will be on holiday break. Turns out our next 2 sessions are Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, which as much as I know you all would just love to hang out with me on those days, I'm pretty sure you have plans. I'm just going to put it out there.
Yeah. I mean, you can always adjust plans for D&D, right?
Well, maybe in theory.
Santa doesn't come until after midnight, right? So
let's talk about where we last left off.
Yeah.
The team.
You'll let Puck tell us? Muted Puck.
I'd rather not.
The team have been in Draxelhaven for a couple days now, taking advantage of the city and the underwater situation that they're in. The frogs are attacking me. Realizing that this place travels a lot, as Draxelhaven sits on the back of Draxelgrix, a massive ancient dragon turtle that we finally learned a little bit more both of its past and a possible connection with what may be going on now. When Puck learned of Dominion and also managed to take a peek into the beacon tower that sits in the coral in the coral structure above the council chambers, she realized there's an entity there, a creature there, a turtle that felt very old and very much undead, but not quite dead. And that somehow that turtle, this ancient dragon turtle, and Dominion are subsequently connected. However, the team also learned the hard way that Brightfin seemed to have an interest in the dissolution of the council during the time at which the team were introduced to the council so that they could get greater access to both the other parts of the city they hadn't explored yet, get an opportunity to talk to an old friend being kept up in one of the towers. And Brightfin had released 2 of his objects and began to attack the council and the team at the same time in hopes of sending them into a possible situation where Brightfin may have wanted to take over. Any other speculation, we still don't quite know yet. During the fight, Puck reached out to a part of themselves that they hadn't quite dealt with before. Tapping into some pretty dark but powerful magic, there was a convergence. It would appear that Dominion and whatever the cause of the rifts out in the Greater Lucidian Sea, the closer we get to the Shattered Isles, the closer and the more frequent these rifts occur. The appearances and interactions of gods and greater powers seem to be more prevalent the closer we get to the Shattered Isles. Whether this is connected to the different beacons, whether it's connected to whatever this society that has evolved on the back of this ancient dragon, turtle dragon, quite a few things are about to converge. After defeating the two constructs that Brightfin summoned, and after defeating Brightfin, there were maybe one or two surviving members of the council. Puck, taken by Dominion, began to try to fight back, initially failing to, weakening her resolve, but she pushed and gathered support from her friends and the council. However, the darkness and the energy of Dominion took everything at once.
Ooh.
The place around you is empty. The four of you are together, but as you stare at Puck, there is an energy pulsing out and around her. Her form hovers slightly in the air in front of you, the three of you, and you could see the large eye off in the horizon and the tendrils of energy pulsing around Puck's form as Dominion is calling her soul back to him. The tendrils are kind of coming up and slowly coursing in, pushing through, pushing out. The energy around you feels difficult to move through. You shouldn't be able, or you shouldn't have any concerns here. You could you slowly try to reach for Puck individually, but the more you reach, the more she's pulled away. The air around you is almost thick with a kind of sense of viscosity to the air. All of you hear a booming echo from the horizon. She is mine. She is mine to keep. She made the pact with me. And then pulse of energy echoes around all of you. She is mine! Puck, give me a Constitution save, if you would, please.
That's an 8.
An 8. You watch as her physical form starts to withdraw in on itself. Her desiccated skin, the sinew of muscle, and the protrusion of rotted bits of bone beginning to poke through her skin. Her hair begins to thin. Her eyes begin to get that white sheen of blindness over them. Her mouth just hanging open with a look of death, fear, and exhaustion on her face. But the blade, the weapon of her right arm, now appearing in both arms. As you watch the power of Dominion begin to course more and more into Puck's form, she screams in pain and agony. And for a third time, You hear Dominion. She is mine! I need the three of you, Spot, Earthen, and Xaneth, to make Constitution saves, please.
25.
25, nice.
Nice.
Damn monk.
I got a dirty 20.
Okay.
Why is
14.
everybody? Why is everybody else rolling so good?
Don't jinx us now, Tally.
Well, I mean, let's face it, Earthen did roll a 14. All around you, you can see the pillars of creation. Dominion casts tendrils of energy into 4 areas of your vision. You watch as a massive Tarrasque, beyond the size of reckoning, shapes the world. You watch as a massive Earth Titan strides through the valleys and the spines of mountains, shaping and forming them. Watch as the 3rd pillar of creation, the idea of deification, divinity, the great obelisk beginning to cast out 9 ziggurats out into the world. The 4th and final pillar of foundation, you watch as the swirling eye and the tendril magic of Dominion sits in that 4th corner of creation. As he gathers all the pillars of creation about him, you watch as Earthen now hovers alongside Puck. Hair thinning, skin decaying, eyes glazed over in blindness, skin showing tissue paper-like transparency, and the booming voice. These are mine! You watch as worlds spin off. You watch as worlds extinguish, wink out of existence. You watch as the starscape of the astral sea explodes with the energy of both destruction and creation at the same time. With both Earthen and Puck in their condition, Spot, you and Xaneth look at each other. There's a moment you have here.
I could try to plane shift us out of here if I could touch everyone.
I want to do some. I want to look in my left hand and just see if the stuffed toy that I was trying to force into Puck's hand is still there. I don't know. That's something I would have noticed in all this.
It's not in your hand. It's in her hand.
Okay. Just curious if we were still physically in contact.
No. Not in the sense that you remember. You remember physically being in contact. But as you're watching the life drain away from both Earthen and Puck, as Dominion begins to once again start coalesce energy and the pulse of creation beginning to come from him off on the horizon. Feels like you've got a window, a small window.
Am I able to communicate at all right now? I mean, because I know we're all withered, but yeah.
With both your and Puck's con saves, you're both considered restrained and incapacitated and stunned. Instead of RIP, it's RIS.
All right. I'm going to just kind of look over at Xan and just be like, do you think you can hold whatever this thing's attention is for a few minutes?
For a few minutes? No. Absolutely not.
I don't know how it's perceiving us, but I was going to try to sneak over to Earthen and Puck and try to sever whatever is connecting them and bring them back here. I can.
If you can, if I can hold your hand and you can get to them, I can plane shift us out. You want to try and do that?
All right. I'm going to kind of give Xanth my tail and just kind of like, all right, let's do this.
You watch as Spot begins to push through the density to get close to Earthen and Puck. You grab onto Spot's tail, and he reaches out and grabs onto Puck and Earthen at the same time. Spot, give me another con save if you would, please.
Right.
I can give him guide resistance because I'm touching him.
Don't worry about it. Nat 20 plus 6, 26.
All right.
That's good because the DC was a 25. And you watch as the necrotic energy coursing through both Earthen and Puck starts to course into Spot's form. You give him necrotic resistance or just resistance in general?
Well, resistance would be a +4 to a saving, plus D4 to a saving throw.
Gotcha. Do you have resistance to necrotic, Spot?
Would that be considered a disease?
No.
Then no.
Okay. As you feel the life-draining energy affect them, but you have a natural resistance to it, take half of 64 points of necrotic damage.
All right. So, 32?
Yep. You watch as Spot throws their head back in pain for a moment, but you can see his huge tabaxi teeth kind of like gritting into the pain. You can still feel Earthen and Puck alive, Spot, but just barely. Earthen and Puck, you both have 1 hit point remaining. You're considered restrained, incapacitated, and currently stunned. You have a sense of something grabbing onto you, and then Xanth, you hear off the horizon, "No!" and this huge yell and this pulse of energy echoes out, waving over the 4 of you as you feel at first your grip on Spot beginning to kind of like slip, but you grab onto it again, and when you do, you look at your wrist. And there's a blinding light coalescing around your wrist. The gift is active, pulsing. You can see the mythical eye of Helm like dilating. You can feel a kind of radiant energy beginning to pulse out of it.
I'm gonna look at it and say, take us out of here, and try to cast plane shift. And I'm trying to take us to Faerun because I don't know where we are.
So this is interesting. You say that based on looking at your wrist, and then you plane shift. I love it. I love it. Go ahead, Give me a divine intervention roll if you would, please.
Ooh,
give me
okay.
a D1. Yeah, give me a D100.
All right. Let's see. So I have a percentile die, and that's my like tens place, and then just a regular D10
Correct.
is my ones place,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right.
Unless you got one of the big chunk in D100s.
That's a
That'll
50,
roll
so
for
that's a failure.
Well, except I'm having you roll for a different reason.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh.
I guess, is it a... Yeah.
All of you are lying on the ground. There's a strange kind of sense of calm. You then realize you're on a beach, staring across a strange looking seascape. Off in the distance, an image begins to move closer towards the seashore. They are in resplendent armor, and you can't help but notice that the helm that they wear matches the embodiment of what Xanath wears around her neck. You then realize as this entity draws closer to the beach, all four of you gain the favor of a long rest.
Ooh.
Nice.
So you may immediately click that off. Puck, you feel Punch brush up against your legs. And all of you just can breathe and smell the clean air. And a voice kind of beckons out. You should not be here. Why have you come? It is not your time, Xanath. I did not call you to me. Why have you come?
We're fleeing Dominion. He almost took us, and I tried to get us out. I don't know what happened.
Ah, the false creator. The one that destroys and creates and calls it rebirth. I understand. Unfortunately, you have brought yourself and your friends to my hold. The only people that come here are the souls looking to cross over, to seek guidance from the Raven Queen, who will take you across the threshold of death.
That wasn't our intent, and we still have more work to do. Can you send us back? Is there a way?
Give me a persuasion check, if you would, Xanath.
Spot just wants to raise a paw. Excuse me, gentle persons. I don't know about these guys. I know for a fact I have not punched all 9.
I do appreciate the tabaxi. Quite a chaotic creature, aren't they?
I got a 10.
10?
Yeah.
Sounds like he likes me. Can I try to persuade him to let us go?
To what benefit does Helm gain from sending you back now? If I gather your souls to my hold now and keep you amongst me. It just makes me more powerful.
You don't want me here. Mom says I'm spoiled.
Behavior or in other ways?
I'll let you make that call.
Send you back. And what will you do with your time, Xanath? What will you take from all of this if I send you back? And by the way, if I send you back, I put you exactly back where you were.
We're following a man named Mason. We've received information suggesting he's headed through the shattered to the Shattered Isles, and I think he's trying to find a way to crack open the door.
Interesting. Many have tried, only to be disappointed. The celestial gates do not exist. It is myth, superstition. We have always been here. We've never left. We linger on the peripheral of the magic of the planes of existence because that is where we draw our power from. It was the children of the world that brought into their own making to satisfy their own sense of understanding of the world that we sealed the gate. After casting out the 9 betrayer gods, the 9 primes agreed to not make Exandria a place of war any longer. We created too much suffering in our means to atone for our past mistakes. So, with those that still believe in us, we gain power, and we grant power to our champions to help spread our influence over the world, to right the old wrongs. If the gods that betrayed our past ever get out, we call upon our champions to seal those gates, to seal those doors, to seal those areas that they get through. This isn't the first time for you, Xanath. You've walked Exandria many times. Your face is known in many places. Unfortunately, champions suffer from unable to maintaining their memories, or else why bother trying each time to stop the evils of the world? Some call it reincarnation, some call it divine inspiration, some call it the exercise of divine power. This helm, I call it an absolute necessity in a world that knows more darkness than light.
Now, what's what? Go ahead.
I don't understand. I don't understand. What do you mean there's no door? That's all that the lore has taught us, that the gods were sealed away.
The gods were sealed away in their minds, Xanath. The easiest way to forget pain is to forget your past. The easiest way to avoid reflection is to forget your past. The people of Exandria that believe in us are finding their way back to what they once knew. A little bit of divinity has always existed in the world. They give it names. They give it labels. the end of everything. It's just fear, Zenith. Fear is powerful, but hope is even more powerful. Hope spawns the truth. Hope spawns empathy. Hope spawns realization of what everyone is capable of. The dark path is easy because it promises false rewards. The light path is hard because the reward may never be known until the end of your life. When you look back down that path of people that you've touched and influenced over a millennia, and in that path, the seeds of divine future.
I gotta be honest with you, guy. What you just said sounds a whole lot like the same deal that Short Stuff over here just got out of.
Well,
This
Wow.
never-ending servitude of some greater being, and that's why we're here in the first place.
Well, the difference is, Bud, I'm not killing you while telling you the story.
You're about to take us through the pearly gates to death forever. You just told us that. You won't let us go back.
No, that's not quite what I said. I said if I send you back, I send you back from where I got you. If you decide to stay, the Raven Queen will guide you into your next life.
You guys ready to go kick some one-eyed ass?
Can you help us? Is there anything you can tell us to help us fight Dominion?
Dominion once had an anchor in the physical world. His firstborn. His firstborn then wandered the face of Exandria, lost to time. This firstborn harbored a small essence of Dominion. If that essence were to be purified, then Dominion's hold on Exandria would be disconnected. The power gone. Gods cannot be killed. They can be destroyed, or they can be weakened, or sent back to their place where they draw their power from.
Draxlograx is his firstborn.
There is an entity there that one of you have seen. And there inside of it lies the essence of Dominion. Purge that essence, and you purge Dominion.
You guys ready?
Okay. Ms. Helm, just not one of your adherents. Just quick thing. Don't know how much contact you have with some of the younger deities. I'm guessing you were probably pretty tight with Taiki. After the whole splitting thing, I don't know how that worked out. But if you could put in a word with Timora, that'd be awesome. Like,
I do.
You don't want me here anyway, man. Look, we're serving the same rough goal, but I am a creature of pure chaos. You don't want me here any more than I want to stay.
This totally feels like being an extra on a movie set and handing your draft script to Jordan.
Yeah.
Take a look at this script, will you?
You bear my mark, Xaneth. Both on your wrist and in your faith. Hold to it. For unfortunately, I will call you one day. But today is not that day. Xaneth, roll D100 if you would, please.
All right.
That first one was a 50, right?
First one was a 50.
All right.
You believe this guy? He's out here like, I'm a good guy. I'll let you go back, but I'm going to call you home one day.
It's an 83.
83? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Arthur, I don't get it either, man. Like, again, this is not the kind of thing Catlord deals with, but I mean,
I can't even imagine what you're dealing with, man.
Where have I gone wrong? Where have I gone wrong? Oh, I know. I sent out the link.
How many curveballs can we throw today?
Yeah, right?
hey, wait, is this guy? Is he? Are you an avatar of Timor or are you an avatar of Catlord? Because you got real lucky, bud.
The four of you, including Punch, are in a very dark area. You feel the floor underneath your feet. It feels like coral. There's no water. Your gills are gone. Puck is back to her former self, but you can see the slight kind of necrotic pulse of purple and black energy on her right arm, still kind of phasing in and out, but kind of crackling with energy at the same time. The four of you look up into the darkness to see a large crystal structure with a turtle rotating inside of it. They look desiccated and dead. Looks familiar to you, Puck.
What the hell is this?
Fuck, this is what you saw?
Yeah, that's him.
Are we entirely sure that the
Him who?
in the little crystal up there, is he actually controlling Draxwood bricks, or do we know if the turtle has its own consciousness that's being subsumed against its will?
Puck knows the truth.
Sup, Drax. It's been a crazy 24 hours.
It has, indeed. You watch as the crystal pulses. He's found you, hasn't he?
He did not keep his part of the deal, so my part is gone as well.
Then you have no choice. I'm ready.
Sidebar, I hope we're talking about the same thing, because I assume that means I need to kill him. Would be very awkward.
I mean, you can give me an insight check if you want to be a little bit more absolute. Yeah.
He's purify. Well,
I mean, some societies that maybe Puck is from, purification means, eternal damnation and death. I mean, I'm just saying, these things.
I got a 20 on insight.
all right.
Good idea.
Yeah, it feels like that's what he's saying. Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, are you
Well-
are you dead?
I am neither alive nor dead. I am trapped in my own world of my own making to stay away from my father. He tried to make me into one of the pillars of creation, and I refused. So I fled. I have fled for millennia. this resting place I'm in, I saw an opportunity to hide myself around creatures that needed both protection and could protect me as well. I gave them a home, and they allowed me to hide. I don't think I can run anymore. If Dominion finds me, harvests my essence, the ancient dragon turtle will come to life and destroy everything that it touches.
That sounds awful. Can you give us just a minute?
If you think we have a minute, sure.
We're gonna like pull everybody into a huddle.
It's such a D&D moment, I swear to
Right?
God. End of the world, 1 minute. Okay, listen.
We have 1 minute to make a plan. If what Brightfin said was true, and there's something on that ship in the middle of nowhere in the Shadowfell, Spot, I think you and I could take a little trip, and maybe that can help us not have to kill him.
I am 100% on board with that. I don't want to kill the cool turtle guy up there. He seems like an interesting fellow.
But I'm worried if we all go that there's trouble ahead, and I don't want to leave Xanth by herself.
What is the beacon going to do?
So Brightfin said it was a way to control Draxelgrix or speak to Draxelgrix.
Okay.
I don't know what it's going to do, but if it might be useful in this fight, if we might be able to drag this thing out of the depths of the Shadowfell, and it can support severing the tie between Draxelgrix, assuming that's his name and not the turtle we're on, and Dominion, we got to try, right?
I don't think controlling him means that Dominion can't get to him. He's still here on this plane.
I think there is kind of a more obvious solution than this. I kind of did this. This is very much my fault. If I'm his entry point to this world, and the alternative is mass destruction, I think I might have to step down.
Step down where?
You mean?
Euphemisms are not working here.
He's like, he looks around like, what step, where are you stepping down to?
Let me talk to Draxelhaven a little longer. I need to understand why Dominion is so interested in him. Because when I spoke to him at first, I got the impression that his desires were familial, were understandable, but it seems clear that I've been lied to enough. I just want to understand what's going on, and then I'll do what I have to do.
Don't kill him with your sword.
Don't let her kill him with her sword.
I will not send him to Dominion, if that's what you're saying. Whatever needs to happen will happen. But Dominion cannot exist in this world. I understand why he was locked away now. I'll go back to Draxelhaven. When Dominion spoke to you, what did he say?
The last time I spoke to my father was the first day that I fled over 1,000 years ago. He's always looking for me. But I shut my mind to his words. When you use that device of yours to look into areas around you, it reminded me of the way my father would use his own abilities to try to find me. But when I touched your sense, I knew it wasn't him, but I couldn't be sure. So I drove you away from me in hopes that you weren't part of this problem. I think old world magic comes from old world places. I think a sword, bracer, a boot, all create magical assumptions and purpose. I think that map was our fate.
I understand. When I was here recently, I allowed the two of you to communicate briefly without my presence. I just want to understand. You told me to come back later. Why?
When I sensed my father through you, I knew that he would be looking for an opportunity to take you over, and then use you as the vessel to get to me, harvest the essence that hides inside of me, an essence that he placed there for the sole purpose of creating a pillar of destruction. Your return tells me he was unsuccessful, but it also tells me now that you know all the truth.
You did not warn me.
I could not. I
I
could not.
understand.
It was beyond my ability to warn you. Because the fate of the outcome would either kill me or save me. Save me for the persecution of my father and the absorption of his essence, and therefore bringing about the fourth pillar of destruction.
What are the first three? Sorry.
However, you return. Therefore, he failed and you succeeded.
If I leave this space, would he not be able to take control of me again?
He has some tendrils of control on you. The pact is not severed. His voracious appetite keeps him desperately clinging on to you because of me. If he could get me back, he'll continue to haunt you. Destroying me will free you from this pact.
What would happen to you if you are destroyed?
I would cease to exist. I would wander the fringes of reality, fractured remains of 1,000 years of memories, fear, and hope.
What would happen to me if I die? Or what would happen to him?
If you die, the pact would be severed, but your soul will be called to him. And you will wander the plains of dominion for all of eternity, serving his purpose, projecting other souls to gather in the plane of dominion. You become a harvester, a servant to his will.
I understand. There is no way for me to seal my soul the way you did yours? Hide away somewhere?
The power granted me to do that is because I harbor an essence of my father in me. You were not created this way. You are but a gnome with a sense of both self-preservation and empathy at the same time. Look at your friends. They look at you with the love of a family member having to make a decision that pains them more than it pains you.
What is the correct decision then?
There is no such thing as the correct decision. There is only choice. The one thing that you can be thankful of that the gods have given all of their children is free will, the ability of choice. Dominion does not do that for its followers. The great celestial being that sits in the plane of Dominion absorbs the darkness of hate in those souls that cannot find rest. And if they agree to serve Dominion, he calls them back to him, and the souls make him more powerful. The darkness more brighter to those that live in the world of fear and hate. This is not your world, Puck. This is not my decision. This is a choice that you must make. Destroy yourself. Be trapped in eternity forever, serving Dominion. Destroy me. The essence returns to Dominion, and he no longer has a hold on this place. Or you fight Dominion, you die. He discovers where I am, and he is restored. And chaos will rain down on Exandria unlike anything ever seen.
I'm so sorry. I think... Yes, Earthen.
Are we hearing this? Or is
Yeah,
this like
because it's like broadcasting out from the crystalline structure. Every time he speaks, his eyes pulse. So you get the feeling that he's just pure essence. He's not like... This turtle was probably what he was when he first appeared on the material plane. And then over time, he became the remnant of the essence of Dominion. Therefore, he can't live and he can't die. He trapped himself inside of this crystal structure and then took over the dead ancient dragon turtle that he found. And he's been using this as a vessel to hide for the last 1,000 years.
Before we make any hasty decisions, we know there's an artifact on a ship that was lost in the Shadowfell. At least that's where Brightfin gave us the location and the name of the ship and where we may be and the city it's in.
I don't know who this Brightfin is.
Yeah, you better not learning. He's not worthwhile.
Well, he doesn't exist anymore.
That too.
Is that a good thing?
Well, he's been absorbed by your father, so not great for him.
No, his soul is in Dominion forever. He must have done something pretty bad.
Picked a fight with Puck, but...
I mean, also killed a lot of people in the Merfolk Council, presumably in the name of the shark guy.
These sound like bad things.
He spoke of a conch called the Eye, or the Wanderer's Call, or the Voice of Dominion, that was lost, but that he may know where it was. He had a tip where he could find it. Supposedly the conch was supposed to be able to communicate so the council could communicate with you.
Your friends are misinformed. The Wanderer's Call is something I used over 1,000 years ago to find the dead form of Draxelgrix. And once I used it to locate where they were, and I infused myself into him as a vessel, the last thing I could do, I cast this shell out. But I was interceded at that point, and I lost the knowing of the Wanderer's Call, not knowing where it'd been, where I'd placed it, and where it had gone. How it got to where it is now, I do not know, but if it's the Wandering's Call that I remember, whoever possesses it can control the form of Draxelgrix, the ancient dragon turtle. I do not suspect that your friends understood what I am or what I was when they locked me inside of this tower.
Oh.
So if you die, Draxelgrix dies without the Wanderer's Call.
Correct. He goes back to the bottom of the Lucidian Sea to rest once again.
Well, we can't let that happen either. Like, looking back at the group.
I think this.
I don't know how much time we have.
Well, we have a really fast monk and a really slippery bard. We have a way to communicate. You can communicate to me if it starts to hit the fan, and we can get out. We'll come back immediately.
What do you think? I look at the turtle.
I think you are trying to find a choice that saves everything and risks everything at the same time.
That's what we do. We incidentally pre-summoned a Fire Titan and then unsummoned the Fire Titan. We teamed up with, fought, and then made some weird shit with some lizard folk while we closed the gate. We freed the freaking primordial dragon guy who just blinked out on us and never came back. We did all that stuff. Right? This is our MO. This is who we are, the fucks.
The voice loses a bit of brevity and a Fire Titan, you say.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That is a pillar of creation.
Well, not anymore.
The Obsidian Gate, you say.
Yes.
That would have gained you access to a pillar of creation.
Well, it's closed.
And my brother, Erebos, fled the Underdwell. Or the Underdepths.
Yeah, very, very quickly, I might add.
3 of the pillars of creation are gone, sealed, trapped away. Then the choice is obvious. I'm the 4th. Purge me. And the 4th pillar is no longer available for Dominion to use. All the pillars of creation will be gone. The threat, gone. It is a small sacrifice that thousands may perish for the preservation of millions.
We've been through this one before. I'm looking at the rest of the group. We've been through this before. You know my feelings on this. I won't let this stand.
Yeah. If you and Spot want to go and look for this, there isn't much we can stop you from. I know you well enough to know we cannot stop you. But I should not leave this space under any circumstance.
Won't be able to control what we do while you're gone.
Yep. I'm gonna dump over the sack and drop out that anvil.
Okay.
Here's your stupid anvil if you need it.
I love it.
Why so mean?
You ready, Spot?
Oh yes.
I'm gonna grab Spot and we're plane shifting to Emmerfell. Hang on, I got it right down here. Emphala. To specifically the Black Eye, the ship, the flagship
Yep.
of the Zorhasian Navy, the missing fleet of the Zorhasian Navy, to try and track down this conch.
So, are they gone? Okay. Turning back to the turtle. So, what do you want us to do? Do you have any last wishes? I trust them, but, well, I trust their goodness. I don't trust that they might succeed. And
I think it's clever how you got rid of them, to do the obvious.
I've learned a few things from your father, unfortunately. Xanath, if this is okay with you, I think you should be the one to do it. I don't know the extent of the hold he has on me, and I do not want to enact his will.
I can do it.
Before we kill you, how can we make your sacrifice worthwhile? What would you like for us to do for you to preserve your spirit in this world?
I think the most important thing to remember is that this will happen again in the future. Not like this, but the reason why we tell these stories. The reason why heroes exist. They don't exist because things are easy. They don't exist because being a hero is somehow designed to happen a certain way. Sometimes it just happens. But where we fail is we don't record these stories. Not everyone's going to understand what happened here today, but telling the story is very important, I think. To inspire people to understand the hardest thing you could ever do for the preservation of hope, love, and the sense of preserving life for its goodness is sometimes you have to sacrifice, no matter how hard it is. A lesson that I seem to be learning now. Had I learned that lesson a long time ago, I probably would not have put this world at risk, but I learned slowly.
We can do that for you.
Can I make one more insight check before trying to do this?
Insight or religion, I let you decide.
All right. That's a 27.
You get the feeling that a greater restoration cast at your highest level is what you need to do. There could be some challenge to it. There could be some inherent risk to your own life in doing it. But that's what it feels like to you. This undead 1,000-year-old entity has a small essence of dominion still left in him. And it feels like it needs to be purged, needs to be destroyed. And a greater restoration through Helm's clever insight into sending you back fully rested.
All right. I'll step forward and place my hand on the crystal.
It's ice cold to the touch. Take 5 points of cold damage, please.
Okay. And I'll say, I hope you can rest. And I'll cast Greater Restoration at 8th level.
As you do, you just feel the pulsing energy of the crystal resist you. But then you begin to see hairline cracks start forming on its outside. You watch as deep in the crystal, a floating black and purple light kind of pulses for a moment and kind of moves around. The entity, you watch as the skin peels away. You watch as its form beginning to desiccate quicker and faster as you stare at it. Give me a con save, please. There.
Okay. That's 14 plus 4 for resistance, plus 3, so it's 21.
Nice. As you feel the energy of Helm pulsing through you and into the crystal, there's a moment, Puck, where you're watching this battle between the essence of Dominion and the energy of Xanath fighting each other. Xanath's eyes are closed. She's constantly murmuring and invoking the proverbs of Helm. The spell is being cast, but it's weakening a bit on Xanath's side.
Is there anything I can do to support Xanath?
You look down at your arm, the purple and black energy getting slightly brighter. You look at Xanath.
Thank you, Earthen.
What do you say?
You said support Xanth by not killing her.
You covered. Give me an insight or religion check. I'll let you choose.
Wow, I am rolling shit today. This is a 9. That was a +4.
Hard to tell. You do notice that as the energy is fighting back against Xanath, the energy of your arm is kind of growing a bit as well.
I'm gonna walk away as far as I can. Or is there... How do I get out of this space? Is there any way to get out?
Looking around, there doesn't appear to be a way in or out. There's no physical door or entry point or exit point. It's just darkness, his form in the crystal in the middle of it. It's almost like he's probably inside of some kind of containment that the council never wanted anyone to know about. And maybe they use magical means to move in and out of the containment.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the far end away from this.
far as you can go. Yeah, you're like 100 feet away, and you feel yourself press up against like rough-hewn coral almost.
And I still have darts with poisoned arrow, like poison darts from way back when.
Okay.
Do I have a sense that if I physically weaken myself or incapacitate myself, I would be less of a danger?
It's possible.
Can I roll insight on that?
Yeah, give me an insight check.
That's a 20. I have a +1 for that. That was a 19.
Nice. You get the feeling that anything close to the magic that's being pushed back and forth on is activating the magic in your arm. You get the feeling that if you sever your arm, it may give Xanath that bit of push that she needs to force her way into the embodiment.
Say no more. I have a knife.
No.
As you watch as the purple energy from elbow down, and you pull out your blade, and you like hack into elbow and muscle tissue and sinew, and you push through it as much as you can, and then you feel the teeth of Punch on your wrist as he rips off your arm, sensing your dread. You watch his arterial blood kind of fountains all around as you take 39 points
Oh my god.
of damage and 2 points of exhaustion.
That's 41.
As you drop to your knees, staunching the blood, Xanath, you have no idea what's going on behind you, but you feel the energy of Draxel Grix's protective barrier collapse. You watch as a small bit of purple and black energy kind of like just collapses in on itself. And you feel your spell push in to the form. You feel it push in, and you watch as the physical form of Draxel Grix's turtle shape begin to dissolve. The crystal cracks, collapsing all around you. You come out of your state of finishing the spell. You look at Draxel Grix's form disintegrate. You look at the fractured crystal. You look over your shoulder to see Puck on the ground, grasping the shattered remains of her arm, and her arm cast off to the side, alongside where Punch stands over it guardedly.
What the fuck? I run over. What happened? What did you do? What happened? I'll cast heal on her, which would give her 70 hit points.
Oh my god.
Technically, because it just happened and you would know this, you could actually pick up her arm, attach it to the elbow, and then cast heal.
Or just yank up the arm, push it together, and cast heal.
You pick it up quickly. You get the feeling that maybe that's why Punch was like guarding over it to make sure nothing happened. You pick it up and you jam it back on the elbow, and you just give it all the heal that you can give. You just put in 70 hit points. You dump in all your spiritual, healing, your energy, your just into the wound, and you watch as the tendrils of skin, sinew, tissue, and bone begin to wrap around each other as you manage to get the arm back onto the elbow. You watch as ashen gray flesh gets pink with the reattachment and healed blood vessels. You watch as Puck opens her eyes. She still has 2 points of exhaustion from the effort, but You watch as she begins to wiggle her fingers. And then she just, the fingers of her normal hand. No sense of dominion. But then you watch as Puck turns it into a blue blade of flame, as her pact is still intact, but her warlock magic seems different now.
What is that?
Puck, as you look at the blade in your arm and you put it back in, you still have the ability to summon your weapon, but it's not what it was before. Although severed from your notion that Dominion is in contact with you, your pact magic, your warlock magic is working, but without the kind of nefarious backdrop to Dominion's musings.
Thank you, Xanath. I owe you so much. Oh my goodness, I will help you spread your gospel.
Are you okay? What do you feel? I don't understand what this is. Why you can still do this?
I don't know. Can I still hear Dominion's voice at all? Does it feel like...
You literally reach out, nothing.
I can't reach out to Dominion anymore, but something stayed. I just don't know what. Can I put an insight check on it?
Sure.
I give you guidance on your insight check. Get plus a D4.
Oh, thank you. I have such low insight. Oh my god, why am I rolling well now? That's a 19.
Dang!
I get plus one.
Remember those damn con saves when I needed them? You get the feeling that the magic of the plane of Dominion is expressive. Dominion took an interest in you particularly because of your mind that he probed when he was convincing you to make the pact. He was using you purely to get to his missing essence. You've solved that problem by having Xanath purge the essence. Within that ceremony, your magic as a warlock still taps into Dominion's plane of existence where he resides, but he no longer has influence over you. The final pillar of creation is gone and severs his direct connection to the prime material plane. You can still tap into his essence of where he resides, which garners you your magic. There may be a risk if you go too deeply into that magic. It could reveal you again, but it feels small. It feels like this final doorway that he was using to try to make his way back into the material plane has been destroyed.
I guess I still have some of his power, but he can't really reach out to this plane. I wouldn't play with it too much, though. I feel like I don't want to be a missing link for him out here. But I guess it's good to have in case. I don't know anymore. I just know that I am so easy to fool, especially by those gods, and I have no desire to interact with them anymore. And that Helm is chill. Helm is on the good list.
I don't know what's going to happen to this corpse of a turtle now. Does it feel like we're sinking? Does it feel like we're back sort of on the turtle proper?
Well, I think once we come back from our 5-minute break, we'll see what shenanigans Spot and Earthen get into, and then we'll see what happens when all of you try to find each other again.
For the record, Helm is not on my good list, okay?
None of the gods are on your good list.
None of them. Not a single one.
You can't say that anymore. Now you're messing with two people.
Oh, he's muted.
When the cat's away, the mice will play.
I'm right here.
Earthen's gonna be so mad when he gets back. He's gonna be so mad.
Oops.
Whoops and doozles.
He was the same way about Lizard Girl. So
the moment that you cast plane shift, knowing what you know, there's that feeling of falling forever. Similar to how you felt when you took the Harper back to his family in Waterdeep through that spell. But where that felt like a dream drift that you were slowly moving into, this feels like you're falling at a rapid pace forever and then stop. Like it just, there's an explosion of arcane light around you. And looking around, you're in a massive graveyard of ships. And you stand on the edge of this blighted land that just rolls out in front of you. Sitting in kind of a awkward angled position off in the horizon, a massive city. A city you believe to be Amphala. All around it littered the carcasses and remnants of thousands of vessels of various kinds, siege engines, siege machines, ships, strange contraptions unlike anything you've ever seen before. But sitting broken in half near the edge of this massive graveyard of machinery is the Black Eye. Its hull shattered outward and exposed, only 100 feet away from you.
I think that's our ship.
Okay. Spot is absolutely just like massive. Like, oh my god, this is so.
Do you have big anime eyes right now where they just.
Yes. Focus.
Keep it together, buddy. Like snapping in front of your face, like, hey, we're here for a reason.
Or they're just like, I can't use a spray bottle. We're underwater.
Well, no, you're in the Shadowfell.
Yeah, way worse than underwater.
Actually, for the first time, he uses a spray bottle.
Yeah.
When you realize that you're not underwater. And actually, the spray bottle is prestidigitation. It's just his finger.
Yeah, it's just minor illusion. So I'm gonna take out my lute and start strumming a tune, just so that I have now detect magic cast.
Okay.
And like we're going. Look, I'll start pointing at stuff, grab it, throw it in the bag, and then we're gonna get the hell out of here. Okay.
Works for me.
Well, we should probably stealth. We should probably at least try to hide.
Okay. Spot casts invisibility on himself.
He vanishes. Okay.
Earthen's reaction is literally like, "Oh shit! What the hell?" Okay, gonna hide and keep playing music.
You guys begin to walk down the edge of this just blasted, ashen landscape. Give me stealth with advantage because Spot is invisible. Are you visible, Earthen, or are you invisible as well?
No, I don't have any spells to make me invisible. I just have advantage with my fancy clothes.
That's right.
I want to burn a lucky point.
Natural ones.
One was, yeah. It was a 1 and a 6, and I'm like, yeah, let's.
Oh, that'll burn a lucky point.
Oh, that's better. That's better. Okay, I burned a lucky point. Yeah, we're okay. Hang on. That's a 21. Sorry.
21. Okay.
Yeah.
Spot.
Oh, I'm sorry. Since I was invisible, I didn't realize that you were still doing that.
You're invisible. It's stealth with advantage.
Okay. Stealth with advantage, which I already get. Okay, so that's a 29.
29. So since you could see Earth and you kind of stay slightly to the left and slightly behind, and you're following Earthen down an ashen pathway that leads towards the fractured hull of the Black Eye. Earthen, your detect magic is overwhelmed by the Shadowfell and is unfocused. Everything is magical in this spellscape. Like the ship is, the debris piles, you don't get a sense of focus from the effect. However, as the two of you make your way into the interior of the fractured hull, give me investigation or perception, your choice.
Perception, maybe.
Investigation or perception, so you said?
Yep.
It's 25.
And mine's not so good. It's a 16.
16. Looking around the interior, it's almost like this place froze in time. You can see the skeletal remains of the crew littered throughout the interior of the hull. You can see everything that they wore still attached to their bodies. There's maybe 3 or 4 dozen skeletons down in the interior. You can see tables and chairs and crates and the inner workings of a massive warship all around you, as if it just cracked in half and was just pulled out of that existence. As you look around, Spot, there are lots of trinkets hanging off lots of dead bodies or skeletal bodies. For you, Earthen, there's a particular chest in the forward portion of the hull that looks not only probably like where your target might be, but it also looks like it might be heavily protected.
That one way down there, but don't go touching it. That's all kinds of vibes coming off of that chest down there.
All right.
As two of you walk through the shattered remains and get down to where the chest is, you could see that there's a handprint or a place for a hand to press towards the front of the chest. You could see elven writing all around the design of the chest. You could see that there are a series of gemstones on the top of the chest that seem to be pulsing with like liquid magic.
All right. Earthy, can you read that?
I can, actually. So I'm gonna read the runes or read the elven script first.
They are proverbial warnings. They are both curses and protection proverbs. Something incredibly evil is inside this chest, and it's heavily protected by this chest.
So this thing, all these warnings and ruins talk about how evil whatever's in this chest is.
That sounds promising. So you want to maybe, if I'm opening this, you want to maybe get back for a little bit, maybe not make yourself a target?
Well, let me at least let me try to dispel some of this first before you go opening this thing blind. Can I roll? Can I pull out the longsword and try and legend lore this chest based on the script and the specific detail of it?
The chest reveals itself to you. There are 3 gems imbued with curse on top of it. The lock on the front of it is a blood curse. Only the person that closed it can open it. Anybody else that tries to will be subject to the curse as well. This has been made by a master craftsman that served the Bright Queen herself. Designed to protect either incredibly powerful items or items capable of wielding unknowing power. It's protected in 4 layers, each one a unique curse of its own. The first curse is designed to permanently banish you in your first attempt. Second curse makes you feeble-minded forever. The third curse is true polymorph. You'll be truly polymorphed into something that cannot be undone. And then the blood curse is the curse of lycanthrope. But you lose your memory forever. All of these are protective curses designed to keep it secret.
Yep. So you're not going to like these curses, okay? There's 4 curses on this thing. Those 3 gems on top, each one of those is a curse, plus the handprint, that's also a curse. Okay? This thing's not just going to pop open. Before you go grabbing at it, the first curse will banish you if we screw that up. The second one is feeble mind forever. Remember what I did to the Brightfin guy?
Yes.
And he went all like, yeah, that, but forever. The third one, true polymorph. Into what? I don't know. But whatever it is, you're that way forever. The fourth curse, lycanthropy.
Mm-hmm.
With memory loss on top of that.
Fun. Hey, out of character real fast. Are these curses? Are those equivalent to what? Sorry, I'm trying to think how to phrase this. Would those be considered equivalent to attacks? Because right now I am still subject to the sanctuary rules. I can't be targeted.
If you try to open it, though, wouldn't that be attacking the curse?
Unfortunately, the mechanic doesn't work that way.
Yeah, I was like, probably not. But let's see. Now, my claws are magical. I might be able to just flat out destroy 3 of those. I am also really good at sleight of hand stuff. The blood curse, I don't want to do that. I like being a tabaxi that remembers things.
How big is this chest?
It's maybe 2 feet tall, 2 feet deep, 3 feet wide.
Are you positive?
It's almost like a steamer trunk.
Are you positive the conch is in this?
I'm not positive what something powerful is in this. I can tell you that much. I can't tell what's inside.
Do you want to use your sword and see if you could maybe have it point out where that thing is? Because I don't want to try this for nothing, for a horrifying evil.
I just used the sword to find out what's going to happen to you if you screw up trying to open this thing. Now, let me hang on. Let me look at some spells real quick. Okay, those all right. Those are all creature casts. Okay. Okay. I'm not sure if I can get this to fit in the bag. So if we open it, we have to open it here.
All right.
Let me try something. So we're gonna I'm gonna pull you back away from it, like this, just backing up from it. And then I want to cast Bigby's Hand. And with Bigby's Hand, I'm gonna try and pop the cursed stones out.
Give me Bixby's Hand is not nearly as versatile or agile as Mage Hand.
Mm-hmm.
So sleight of hand with disadvantage because of its nature of what it is and its size.
Okay.
Oh, look, before you...
Too late.
That's all right. I rolled both sides.
Before he does this, I know you have that. I'm assuming that Earthen is, he's not that kind of bard. He's not necessarily that adept at thieving things, going in and trying to force things like that.
I mean,
is that accurate? Do you have limited experience with things like this?
I'm not terrible at it.
Okay, because I was going to say, obviously Spot can't physically do this, but can Spot kind of be like, okay, I need your hand to follow my lead. Can I kind of be like, okay, get up closer to it so I can see where it's doing, and kind of relay, kind of fine motor not commands, but directions to it. Okay.
I'll say you give him advantage, so you can make a regular roll, Earthen.
There you go.
So based on the roll you made,
I rolled both die at once. Yeah, that's why I was like,
I'll let you choose the higher of the two.
Okay. So that's with my +4, that's 19 plus half my proficiency bonus, which is 2 more on that.
21. All right.
Jack of all trades.
Yeah,
Yay.
DC was a 20. You watch as the first gemstone peels out as you are able to get it out with Bixby's Hand, but Bixby's Hand immediately is eviscerated and shredded by the cursed magic.
Yep. Whew. That's one. Okay. All right. This is I can try that again, but I don't have a lot more.
On Xanathan's face. It's like these two. Me and Puck saved the world, and these two are going to bring back a world killer. Is what they're going to bring back.
Well, we don't know that yet,
Oh, Xanath knows. They just tell.
Oh, and these are curses, right? So they're not spells.
Correct.
Yep. Okay.
It's like the curses have been imbued into the gems.
Yep.
I just popped that out so I could read it myself. Okay. So same thing. I'm just going to kind of get in front of it and try to direct his Bigby's hand.
Okay. I'm going to pop Bigby's hand. Yep, casting it again.
Give me a regular roll this time.
Yep. That's 9, 4, 2 is 15.
15.
Yep.
Unable to remove the gem, and Bixby's hand gets eviscerated, and the gem is still in place.
Shit. If we're gonna get out of here, I can't do that again.
All right. What was the second gem? Was its effect? Which one is this one? Is this
Feeble Mind?
Earthen, do you want to maybe look with it?
Go ahead. Yeah.
You want to maybe inspire me for some of this?
Oh, absolutely. And I'll start playing the lute for inspiration, but as well as if I can use. If I'm playing the lute, can I use minor illusion while detect magic is going off to kind of try and guide him through some steps?
I mean, there's multitasking, and then there's being a busybody.
I am that. I'm that kind of bard.
That feels like a lot.
A lot. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still gonna cast. I'm still gonna have the detect magic going.
Okay.
Just now that we're right here and I'm looking at it.
Okay.
And I've had the legend lore cast on it. I think I have a little better idea of what I'm looking at now.
Okay.
Okay. I did just want to ask. I'm assuming these would be sleight of hand rolls for spot.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Earthen, maybe focus on the Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. The minor illusion, because whatever your
the minor illusion was going with detect magic. Like I'm playing the lute gives me that extra bonus.
Yeah.
Well, do we strictly need detect magic right now? We know what these do.
But you need me to play for you for this inspiration, unfortunately.
Gotcha.
That's why I was trying to take advantage of what I already have going on.
Okay. All right.
But I'm still playing, so I'm gonna go in and load you up with 1d12, right?
Okay. So it's a d12.
And then it's a d12, and I'm gonna keep playing the whole time.
All right. So, very first one, I'm going to roll to disarm the lock. We good to go with my d12 on deck?
We're trying to pop that gem out, which
pop the gem out.
Yeah.
All right, and here we go. That is a 28.
As you watch Spot carefully kind of claws out, like pops the gem out. Give me an intelligence save, if you would, please, Spot.
Oh, and I have advantage on that. I'm sorry. Oh, wait a minute. I had something pulled up.
You have an inspiration, just in case.
Right. Intelligence save. Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to. Oh, D12.
Yep.
D12, and I want to look something up because I don't think I have it somewhere. God damn it! All right. I think I got.
Oh.
Yeah, do well. I earned a lucky point on that because I did not do well. I got like 7.
You got 7?
Yeah.
Take 38 points of psychic damage as you manage to pop the gem out, but because you physically touched it and you weren't affected by the curse, the psychic resonance of what imbued the curse kind of courses through your mind as you pull it out. And you get the feeling that it's probably going to be like that every time you try to pull out. If you try to pull out the third gem, it's going to be equally as dangerous.
Spot's just kind of like, oh God.
It's like
it's okay.
Like a trickle of blood coming out of his nose, out of their nose.
Okay?
I can do it.
Okay, I mean, do you need me to like pump you up a little bit before you go?
No. I can do that 2 more times.
I've got some. I mean, I'm talking health wise.
I without metagaming too much. Yes, I can take 3 more of those or 2 more. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, that hurt. That hurt a lot.
Okay.
Next one.
Look, remember this is the old shocky door thing, right? Okay, we got this.
All right, second one.
I'm playing again, so you got your other inspiration.
Sleight of hand.
All right. Oh, nat 20 plus my plus my bonus.
Ooh, 35. Jesus
nice.
Christ.
Give me the intelligence save.
For a crit success?
Oh yeah. The gem, getting the gem out means you don't get cursed.
Okay.
Right.
But you're
Still
pulling
gonna
the gem
take
out,
damage.
and therefore the magic is separating
I got you.
from what got the gem in.
Yep. Okay.
And by the way, you're only taking, you took full damage of that last psychic. So if you make the save, you don't take any damage from psychic.
All right. Before I burn an inspiration with unnecessarily, I rolled a 19. Is that enough to avoid it, or do I need to do the inspiration?
You need
Burn
to
it
do the
anyway.
inspiration.
I've got plenty, dude. I've got.
Yeah,
We got a full rest, so I'm loading you up with inspiration.
Ah, damn it! I screwed up my dice there. Give me a sec. There we go. I rolled a 9, so that's a total of 28.
Okay. This time you feel the psychic resonance kind of wash over you, and you have the gem. You watch as the magic of the gem. By the way, the magic of the gem doesn't go away. You just didn't imbue the curse. So you guys are in possession of 3 cursed gems with those effects.
Well, they're going in the bag for sure right now.
The only remaining curse you have is the blood curse on the front of the chest.
Okay. Hear me out. I've got the music going for you, okay?
Uh-huh.
Now, well, then, so this is going to be a question for Storyteller. Can I have Dispel Magic ready to try and combat any adverse effects?
Similar question on this one. What is the area of effect for this? For this, I'm going to get it wrong. Forgive me. For the spell effect, if I do fail, like what is the radius where that could be effective?
I don't think it's a radius. I think it's just you because you touched it.
Okay, it's not so much that. It's what I don't think this would work, but I'm trying to rules lawyer as much as I possibly could. Just like have my Misty Step kind of on deck. If I fail, just teleport 30 feet straight up.
I mean, I appreciate the flavor, but this is just straight up interaction with the chest lock.
It would be a lycanthropic cat 30 feet up in the air now.
Yeah.
No memory.
No memory. And you probably feel compelled to eat earthen.
Yeah.
Oh, more than I already do. I mean, what?
You know, hey, finally fessed up to it.
All right, we good?
But about the Dispel Magic, though, like having that charged on the side, because I'm only playing for inspiration for him right now.
Well, Dispel Magic is technically an action. So it requires time. It's not reactionary. Counterspell's reactionary.
Okay, well, I mean, if Counterspell work, okay, I'll throw that out then too. If it's more if this goes to shit real fast. I'm trying to boost his. Yeah.
It's hard to know.
Okay.
It's hard to know.
All right.
I don't imagine this is going to be much of a factor. This is more for future reference because I never got the actual stats. My locket that's giving me those 12 hit points after every turn. I know that's the text of that is in combat. Like doing this, have I regained anything from that, or is it strictly in combat? Okay. Yeah. So how many turns will we say that it's been?
I mean, you could just say you've gotten back what you lost in damage. By waiting and nervously pondering what's going to happen when you roll a shitty sleight of hand and you get blood cursed. The subtle things in life.
All right. Let's see what we got.
Worst comes to worst, you're cat dog, okay?
Cat dog.
That's a 27 before I use any inspiration.
DC originally was a 20, then it was a 22, then it was a 24, and then it became a 25 for the final lock.
Okay.
So you give me another intelligence save.
We're over here
Okay. Then, again, 24 base roll.
You're good. With that, you watch as the lid folds into 4 quarters back and away. You watch as there's a clicking noise as a small plate inside raises up, and sitting on a kind of small bundled up velvet kind of fabric, you can see what looks to be a very plain and ordinary conch.
All right, before either one of us picks it up, can I do an active investigation on this and just see if I notice any...
Yeah, give me an investigation check as you begin to check it out.
All right.
I'll detect magic as well?
Oh, it's magical.
Okay.
Not a school you recognize.
All right. And my investigation crap. It was only a 9.
I mean, it looks like a plain, ordinary conch. No writing on it. It looks kind of old and disused. It doesn't look all that fancy at all.
Super old, super magical conch. But you know what? A conch is like a musical instrument, okay? So Earthen's going to reach down and grab it.
I'm going to reach down at the same time and not fight him over it, but just kind of have my hand on it as well.
Nothing
So
happened.
I'm going to hold you, and we're going to phase shift back now.
Okay.
Can I do I want to see if I notice anything. Do I notice anything?
Or not phase shift, but plane shift. Sorry, whatever. Same thing.
You know what you meant, Earthen.
Yeah.
Can I do an insight check on the conch just to see if I notice anything about that?
Sure. Give me an insight check.
Oh, thank God. Okay, I have a 24.
Okay. I mean, it feels like a normal conch. There's no magical kind of anything involved.
All right. I'm going to look Earthen in the eye and just kind of slowly pick it up, just kind of make eye contact with him, just like, I'm ready. I think you have things you need to do. If anything, if this goes sideways, and then just kind of reach my tail around with the Kraken's Revenge and just kind of hold it in front of him and just put the conch shell to my lips, just kind of like nod to him, see if he's ready.
As you guys plane shift back,
Yeah, we're back. Cow.
Back into the chamber. You see Xanath and Puck nearby. The crystal lies in pieces on the ground. No sign of the turtle. But you're back inside the chamber, holding the conch.
What the fuck?
Did you get it?
Not cool. We think, but
What?
We did what had to be done.
You guys are the fucking worst.
I have risked too much before following my hubris and assuming that I could do just about anything. If the danger is as grave as the turtle himself foretold, there was no choice. But maybe with a conch you could still save those who are on the turtle.
all right. I want to look back to Earthen and just kind of again nod, like you know what I want to do here, and like start trying to blow on the through the conch.
Hey, wait.
You watch as Spot puts it up to his lips and
You don't have the right mouth for that. What
he
the hell?
starts blowing on it and like nothing happens. Like dust and flakes of conch and fractured shell kind of come spitting out of it.
Oh, well, it looks like your mission also was a success, I guess.
Give me that. And I'll take it. I'm gonna hold
Did
it
you
up.
pick it up off the shore? That's nice. That sounds like fun.
I'm gonna look for like which side looks like the right side to blow in.
I mean,
I would assume from the one,
the traditional hole on the one end. I mean,
Just trying to wrap around the outside.
Yeah, just
like pull my shirt up and like wipe off the end of it. And okay, you can do this. You were made for this. You're the bard. Come on.
Yes.
And he's gonna try to.
give me a performance check as you blow into it.
With advantage or not for the? Because I'm not playing the loot. Never mind. Yep, no advantage. I got you. Answer my own question.
Yep, you did.
I'm gonna lucky point that bad boy.
Boy, you've been rolling like shit all night tonight, Earth.
I have. That's a better one. I'll take that one. So let me burn my lucky point. Let me knock my lucky point off real quick before I forget. Yeah. Woo. All right. That's a 25.
You let out this beautiful long draw of the conch, And nothing happens.
Well,
Fuck is wrong with you? I know you're magical. I don't know what the hell kind of magic this is.
Give me an Arcana check as you stare at it.
Okay. Well, that's a better roll. Of course, I rolled great on an Arcana check. That's a 26.
Yeah, like you're like, what the hell? And then you look on the inside of the conch is this tiny, tiny little rune. And you immediately recognize the glyph as a glyph of misleading. Basically, the conch is giving off no particular school of magic on purpose. Somebody has sold a bill of goods to those elves. There's nothing unique about this conch.
Earthen is pissed and just like scatters it on the ground. Just throws it, you know,
like into dozens of pieces across the ground.
I hope you're happy. I really hope you're happy. You everyone on this fucking turtle is about to die.
They're not going to die. This
You'll
turtle
die.
submerges all the time.
Yeah.
These
But-
people can breathe underwater. The turtle
What
was
turtle
already
was ever
dead.
this big? What
The
turtle was ever
was
this big?
already dead.
What turtle was ever this big? No turtle was ever this big.
And what people
You guys
can't
feel
build
a
anything
large,
but a
like something settling, giving off like a 5.0 style earthquake. And then it just kind of rattles a bit and then settles.
oh,
You and your fucking god. I'm getting out of here.
Fuck's like, yeah.
be respectful
Sure
of
you
your
are.
god. He's done more for us than literally anybody else on this fucking journey.
I'm leaving. I leave the chamber.
There's no
Where-
way out of the
wherever we
chamber.
Fuck.
Like Earth is
I'll-
doing that. You know those
No.
pissed off like loops people do when they're pissed off? They're like, I need to
Make a
hang my
circle.
jacket in a round room. Where's the peg?
I see what this is, and I'm gonna I'll make that circle, and then I'm gonna try and dimension door out.
Okay. There's like a crack of pink light. You're outside standing on an underwater ledge, currently choking on seawater.
I cast breathe underwater on all of
You
us.
can't see him. He's outside.
I'm gone now. Hang on.
He's like,
Yeah, I got this.
Are you gonna polymorph yourself into Filbert?
I'm going to where'd it go? Hang on. Yeah. Question. I put on the circlet of the tidal mind, but I haven't attuned to it yet.
correct.
Can I take advantage of the opportunity of probably going to dying?
Well, I would say at some point, like either during the council proceedings or right before the council proceedings, like you'd be
Well, we
attuned.
kicked off a long rest, but we didn't rest, so that's
Yeah.
why I wasn't trying to.
I'll say you attuned to it. That's fine.
Okay, in that case, I am breathing underwater.
Now you are.
Yeah.
As you realize your gills are gone, and you feel yourself breathing underwater again.
Okay, I'm just gonna look around and get my bearings from what I've seen.
Yeah,
to where
as you
we are
look
now.
out onto Haven, some of the buildings are kind of, the coral's cracked and things are tilting a little bit. The sediment from the dragon turtle landing on the bottom of the ocean is just now beginning to kind of like cloud by you. And now you can just see thousands of merfolk floating in amongst Haven, confused as to what just happened. The turtle's no longer moving. It's just sitting on the bottom of the sea. And people are just like kind of both in shock and kind of hesitant to like move about. They're just all looking around, realizing that this creature no longer seems to move and is now settled at the bottom of the deepest part of the sea. At least where they were.
So I'm immediately going to try and seek out Wavebinder.
Okay. You know the direction to go in, and you start swimming in that direction. The rest of you are still inside the chamber. What would you like to do?
I'd like to take a look at the area where the turtle was and just see if there's anything that looks kind of like a control surface. Like if there was some other way of control.
Yeah, give me investigation as you start sifting through the crystal shards and taking a look at the place where it once stood.
All right, that sounds good. That's only 12.
There's not much left, though you do pick up on the fact that it's coral rock that you're standing on. You eventually kind of trace to where you can feel walls, and they feel like coral. It feels like you're inside of a structure, a coral structure is what it feels like. Just no windows, no doors, no obvious way in or out.
Ooh, I have an idea. I'm trying to think of how to phrase this. Can I see? Why? What are you getting?
I always worry when you say that. I always see. X equals Y equals. How do I?
No.
How do I change algebra?
It's not that. It's
Imaginary numbers.
There you go.
Imaginary numbers. That's how you do it. That's how you change algebra.
I'm trying to put things in monk parlance. God.
Hey, I'm being supportive right now, okay?
Outside in the briny deep, it's fine.
Outside in the briny deep.
So, can I detect anything that I would recognize as like key or like a life force that was being used to direct this? I know the turtle's gone, but just something that I might be able to interface with.
Give me insight, or you can give me Arcana.
All right, I suck at both of those, so let's find out.
Technically, I think
Wait, insight. I have that. My insight's very good. Okay, that is a 21 insight.
21 insight. You just get the feeling.
I got one. I have one inspiration left, so I'm going to use that.
I was going to say you never used that inspiration earlier.
Yeah, go for it. You can use it.
That is 28 total.
I mean, you get the feeling that the turtle was the anchor. That what he was telling was the truth, and the fact that there doesn't seem to be any other way to interact with the ancient dragon turtle or any sign of a device, you're absolutely certain that there is no way of either getting in and out of this chamber. He was probably put here for a reason, and you do not, getting in and out in physical way. You get the feeling that they were probably using magical means to come into the chamber. There is no sign of any kind of contraption, gadgetry, or anything to interface with. You're just inside of a hollowed chamber of coral with the remnants of what the turtle was trapped inside of.
Go ahead, because I'm gonna shoot you a PM in Discord. So, but yeah, y'all two go ahead real fast.
I'd love to just sacred flame the wall a bunch of times till I can shoot a hole out.
You're going full Iron Man. Before long, a kind of 5 foot tall, 2 foot wide gap of coral kind of falls into the chamber. The water is now rushing into the chamber.
All right. And we have now breathe underwater, right?
I'll cast breathe underwater.
Okay.
Like you see the water, and then you're like, "Oh shit!" Remember when he said? She casts really quick, underwater breathing, and but now you guys have regular underwater breathing, not what Sibo had cast on you. So conversation's a bit more difficult, and it only lasts the duration of the spell that Puck casts.
Is the body of the turtle still there?
No, it basically desiccated and drifted away into small kind of like pieces of flakes Very light flakes just kind of desiccating and flitting off.
Okay.
That was just a bunch of bubbles.
Yeah. A bubble sigh.
Can I do primeval awareness aimed at the dragon or at Draxelhaven to see if I can feel literally anything?
You don't feel nothing. No
Okay.
connection. Nothing there. And as Xanath makes that opening, the two of you kind of come out of the chamber with Spot in tow. You're looking down into the same landscape that I described for Earthen. Turtles, the giant ancient turtle seems to have settled at the bottom of the sea. There was some damage done to some of the coral structures, and the merfolk just seemed confused and a little bit panicky as the turtle is no longer moving or showing any signs of response.
Do we know where the lighthouse is?
Yeah, the lighthouse is. There's 3 coral towers. One of the coral towers is a lighthouse. The other tower holds the martinet. And then the third tower, you have no idea what's in it, but below those towers are the council chambers and all the kind of like coral structures that they all reside in, and where winter would be.
So should we go to the tower with the martinet and maybe deal with that? Just saying, that seems prudent. She's kind of not real happy with us, I imagine. Just saying.
Well, we are overdue to ask her a few questions.
I think we'll need to explain to the council at some point what's happened. We should talk to Sibo. I don't know where Earthen ran to.
Or swam.
Was the lighthouse at all connected to Draxelhaven's power? Do we know anything about that?
You just know that it matched similar to the Harper's description of the beacon on the Moonshay Isles, the idea of a lighthouse in the Shattered Isles, and then the lighthouse that was up in the Coral Tower next to the Martinet, and a third tower as well.
Hey, I think Puck would go to the light tower to see if there is any remnant of Draxelhaven in relation to that, just because it seemed before like there might have been a connection.
Okay. So you're heading that way, Puck?
I think so. With my tiger.
Okay.
Spot, Xanath, where are you guys heading off to?
I think, yeah, maybe Xanth's priority would be the tower that's supposed to have like a beacon in it, or the lighthouse.
Okay. So, Spot, you're heading towards the Martinet while Xanath and Puck go to check out the beacon?
I think so, yeah.
And then Earthen is heading towards the Tidal Council. Earthen, as you're swimming through areas of the Haven, there's minor damage, not unlike maybe a minor earthquake has occurred. People beginning to clean up, and there's groups of merfolk huddled together as you're kind of swimming through and making your way towards the council chamber. Once you make your way into the entryway, you're beginning to realize that none of the barriers are up anymore. As you swim into the hallway, all the barriers are down, so everything is now flooded with water. You actually pass the chamber that you and your friends were residing in, and there's no one inside of them. You swim all the way down to where the council chamber is, and you can see that there is just one of the Mer Council still left behind. The chamber itself is completely empty, and you watch as the Wavebinder turns to see you come swim into the space.
Wavebinder, I tried to stop them. I tried to prevent this.
She holds up her hand, and you watch as she picks up the trident, and a kind of like sphere pushes back the water, and you watch as her merfolk form turns into bipedal form from the waist down, although she maintains her merfolk form from the waist up. And you're standing in a like 90-foot sphere of air. I couldn't understand what you were saying. Continue.
I apologize. I tried to stop them, Wavebinder. I tried to stop them. I sought out the conch, but it was false.
Try to stop what, Earthen?
This. Draxelgrix is dead. The turtle is dead.
It was never alive, Earthen.
Gone, inanimate, no longer of this plane.
Earthen, merfolk are naturally nomadic. It's our way of life. As far as I'm concerned, with the corruption of Brightfin, the near destruction of your friend, and our own loss of this safety net that we've been on for so long, I think it's time that me and the rest of my people make our way back towards where we need to go. This was never a place that I felt that we were meant to stay for a long time. In fact, when we found it, and that bizarre crystal structure with the turtle in it, we didn't understand its magic, so we encased it in coral to protect it. We just knew that we could build a home on the back of this place. And for a time it felt like a home, but even longer than that, it began to feel more like like a lie, a falsehood, a false feeling that me and my people were. I mean, we allowed Brightfin to do what he did not because we don't have skill to prevent it, but in our hubris of certainty. I believed in this council as being more perfect than we ever were as our nomadic selves. I take this as a sign. Earthen, what really troubles you?
He was innocent.
Who was innocent?
The turtle. The turtle was innocent. So was the priestess. All these innocents sacrificing themselves for the greater good. And what good has it brought any of us?
What sacrifice?
He's gone.
We're all going to be gone someday, Earthen. It's the journey. What do we do with our journey? I've had many opportunities to think about what I could have done, should have done, and what I actually did do. The favors we've granted our visitors were a way for us to control people. I don't know if that was wrong or right, because I did it because I was trying to protect my people and what we had made on this place. Doesn't mean we can't do it again somewhere else. It may be a little bit more difficult. There'll be hard times. There'll be difficulties. The members of this council and the protectorate died making sure that I could carry on the idea of what we did here. They died defending their belief in themselves as well as in me from the corruption of whatever Brightfin's plan was. They died with purpose. That's not sacrifice. That's realizing your journey and dying the good death of purpose, saving others, preventing chaos, preventing things from happening. When I saw your friend Puck succumb to that magic, and we all did what we could to prevent her from dying, something inside of me felt different. For the first time, I felt alive. Been sitting in this chair, pronouncing edicts, passing judgment, thinking that these things I was doing were the right things to do. But were they the good things to do or the bad things that I was doing? I don't know. I've lost some friends today. You almost lost friends today. None of those were sacrifices. Those were good deaths that saved all of us.
So you say. What now? How do we get out of this place? How do we get off the ocean floor?
Oh,
I need to get back to the surface.
Well, you've been gone for a bit. There's always recovery. I will begin the evacuation, and the merfolk are going to continue to live in the sea like they always have. Maybe we'll find a good island that we can live in the coral reefs around it. Maybe we'll reestablish another city. Maybe this place, 1,000 years from now, will be the curiosity of 5 individuals who wonder whatever happened here. Don't know. Earthen, do you have a family?
I do.
What are you going to do when all this is done? I'm assuming you and your friends still plan on going to the Isles. I can still help with that.
I don't know anymore.
Perhaps knowing has been all the problem. Perhaps a little blind faith might do you some good. In your friends and in yourself. You've made it this far. Shame to give up now. Anyways, Gorgrim awaits you and your friends with the blue whale on the outskirts there. When you and your friends are ready, seek him out, and he will take you to the Vale. He will guide you through it, and leave you at the Dragon's Teeth Isle, where I believe you and your friends are trying to get to. I know about the beacons, Earth, and I know about the lighthouse. You and your friends are in for some new surprises. I've always learned not to say too much, but to watch how people react to the world around them. Don't be so hard on yourself or them, Earthen. This is just life, and sometimes life happens. You watch as a cadre of merfolk guard are now kind of around the spherical bubble of air. Don't know if we'll meet again, Earthen, but good luck. And she swims through the sphere, and you watch as the dozen or so guards flank her and makes her way out. Sibo steps into the sphere. You're back. Wow, that was a show. Wow. Sometimes it doesn't feel like we win, and sometimes it definitely doesn't feel like we lose. I mean, did you guys save Puck? Is she okay?
I don't know. I don't know if we saved Puck. I thought we saved Puck. But I don't know.
Was she alive?
I assume you'll see for yourself soon.
Well, about that. Winter has given me some insights on a particular subject matter. Me, your Harper friend, and Peroni are going to journey with Winter back to the Feyland, to the Feywild. We're going to go to the courts. I have some questions for them, and Winter has been nice enough to trust me with some information. For now, Ethan, this is where I say goodbye. I don't know where your journey leads. I don't know if we'll meet again. Maybe we will. Maybe this was all supposed to happen. Whether it was supposed to happen this way or not, I don't know. But, well, good luck to you, Ethan. Let your friends know that I'll keep an eye on Winter. I will send to either you or Xanath when we're ready to return. Good luck in the Shattered Isles. Perhaps maybe there's something there that we are all looking for. I don't know. You watch as she just kind of comes over to you, and she's small, so if you were small, it'd be a lot easier for her, but you're not. So she does that awkward, she wants to pat your face, but she's on her tippy toes, trying to give you that mother's pat.
By this time, Earthen would have dropped to his knees already anyway.
Okay.
He's just kind of still pretty despondent and disappointed and mad.
You feel a wave of euphoria from her touch. You're smart enough in the magics to know that she just cast calm emotions on you. You worried so much, Earthen. You worry so much. I think too much. I know your journey before all this was fearful, frightful, and difficult. Your friend asked me to give you something because I think his pain isn't all that different from yours. And she hands you a small leather book with the symbol of the Harpers on it. He said, the Harpers began in the dark. They began wandering the Faerun with the expectation of protecting those that needed protection. But sometimes you lose your way in the dark. Their numbers dwindled over time until an opportunity for them to prove themselves against the Red Wizards of Thay and the incursions into Baldur's Gate. And that's what set them on their way. Their story became the story of all of those that they saved. He said, read this book. It'll tell you about the history of the Harpers. Perhaps, maybe their epitome is an opportunity for you to start a new chapter here for them. Maybe that's what this world needs, is a small, bright light of change and hope. These pathways have crossed for a reason, Ethan. Use them for good. And when all this is done, when you and your friends stop Mason and the others from doing whatever they're plotting, Which I know there's someone up in a tower that I suspect if you probe the right way, you might be able to figure out what's going on. Take this book, take your family, find a place to live the rest of your life and tell the story. And bring some friends together to wander the different continents of this world, to tell that story to others. The greatest doom of any people, Earthen, is to forget how things were saved by those that fell during that time. We've all lost. She holds your hand. You're gonna lose again, Earthen. It's just life. She gives you a kiss on the cheek. You watch as she lets go and steps back through the sphere of water, or the sphere that created the bubble of air. Mm-hmm. Standing on the other side, you can see Winter, Peroni, Kazan, I think, was the name of the harper. Kazian?
Well, yeah, last name was with a K.
Yeah, I think it was
a lot of pages back.
Yeah. I inadvertently closed OneNote by mistake, and I don't want to pause, so I'm doing some of this from memory from when I wrote it.
First name was Andrew, at least.
Yeah. And those, and Sibo's standing there with him, and it's really kind of strange. Staring through the blurred haze of the sphere, 4 adventurers heading out to the Feywild. Don't know what they're going to do there. Hopefully they'll come back. You're not sure. That reminds you of being in Nicodranus, being at the tavern for the first time, meeting everyone for the first time, that sense of adventure, that sense of, for the first time, you realize that you've come a long way. A long way. And then there's a pulse of energy. So the 4 of them are gone.
Earthen puts both hands on the book, just kind of like rubs, like feels his fingers across the sigil on the front, like traces the sigil with his fingers. Packs it in his backpack. Looks for the towers and starts off towards the Martinet.
Puck and Xanath, you get to the beacon tower. It's no longer guarded. You can already see the beginnings of people leaving the city. Seahorse creatures kind of pulling at kelp-like nets of belongings and gatherings. Groups of people just kind of scooping up what they have and leaving with their families in different directions. It's almost like an ant trail of people going off in different directions. The evacuation of Haven seems to be underway with a bit of, no panic. The 2 of you stand in front of a coral tower that's about 30 feet tall above you. A door made of shell and coral kind of there as well. You get the feeling that was impromptu. This is not a part of the tower. Looking up at the top of the tower, you can see a faint radiant glow of yellow light pulsing through the cracks of the coral way up at the top. The shell-like door is partially open.
I kind of look at Xanath to confirm whether or not we're going inside.
Yeah, I will, I'll pass on both of us and nod.
Sorry?
Oh, sorry. I'll cast bless on both of us and nod to go in.
Okay, we're going in there.
I mentioned it was dark.
If the responsible adult says it's fine, I think it's fine.
We gotta know what it is. We have to know.
Yes.
You go inside. There are coral steps that go up, and you begin to follow them upward. And you're kind of swimming up through the coral, and you're like, steps? That's weird. Definitely pings is a little odd. As you're in the interior of this tower, the interior is not made of coral. It's made of stone. And you get about halfway up. Give me perception checks, if you would.
Does Anthony have to roll? She's already got like a 20.
I know.
I wish I could use my passive for every perception check, because that, well, I got a 19.
That's still pretty good.
It's not bad.
I got a 9.
A 9.
That's what I rolled without my.
Xanath, as you're
Listen.
swimming ahead of Puck, you stop and you hold Puck back. There's someone up above. You could hear booted feet. You could hear something being moved, like the echo of, you know how sound is underwater, like that, like if you ever dropped a brick in a pool or something, it gives that noise. There's someone up above. They're by themselves.
Can I cast Scry? Oh no, it's for creatures, not for locations.
Can I do detect thoughts?
What's the spell description on that?
So, okay. I can't tell from the description on the 4th level if I have to see the creature or the person. You can also use this spell to detect the presence of thinking creatures you can't see. That spell you can action during duration. You can search thoughts within 30 feet of you. The spell can penetrate barriers, but 2 feet of rock, 2 inches of any metal. Actually, so yeah, no, I don't have to see the creature. You can.
They do get a wisdom save, correct?
Uh,
Because you're trying. Are you trying to detect
Yeah.
surface thoughts or go deep into their thoughts?
uh,
Surface thoughts means they don't get a save. You're just trying to feel for the surface thoughts of somebody.
I guess if I do it on the 4th level, and I just try to do surface thoughts and mostly just try to identify the person above us.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that. And with Xanth's insistence, kind of stop for a minute, Puck. You bring this spell and you use it to kind of sense whatever's up there. You feel the psychic kind of whisper of your magic kind of bubble out from you. Whoever's up there is ecstatic. They're gleeful to the point of maniacal behavior. Their plan worked. The distraction worked. Brightfin was a fool. And now he has it.
Okay, running upstairs.
Or swimming.
All up.
Yeah, you guys get to swim. And as you get to the very top of the tower, looking into the room, there's Mason. He retrieves the beacon, sees the two of you in the threshold, and he just smiles and he's gone. Spot, as you get to the tower that's supposedly holding the martinet, there's no door, no guards, no stairs, just a swim channel that takes you beginning into the coral tower and up towards its top. Once you get there, there's a threshold that you find yourself swimming in, and then you look into a small coral room, and floating with blood kind of spilling around her is the martinet. You can see a smile from ear to ear on her neckline. And it looks like she's been dead for at least 5 or 10 minutes.
All right, I want to investigate the corpse, just see if there's anything.
Yeah, give me an investigation check as you start kind of examining her. Give me a medicine check as well as you try to confirm precisely how and how long she's been dead.
All right, the investigation was a 17. The medicine is a 23.
Nice. As you pull out your little knives and you start dissecting her and looking at her parts and innards, it feels like she's been dead definitely for about 5 minutes. She's completely ensanguinated as the garrote cord that was used on her neck had sliced through her jugular. She died probably instantly. There's something gripped in her left hand.
All right. Can I try to leave her hand open or like just...
Yeah, you go to her hand and you start peeling back the fingers and you look in the palm of her hand is a silver button with the crest of the Wanderman Assembly on it. Something that you know belongs to Mason. She must have ripped it off in the struggle.
All right. Well, did I find anything else that might be useful on her? Any potions?
Nothing in particular. She didn't really have any of her personal possessions on her either that you could see.
All right. I'm going to just kind of cut my losses at this point. God damn.
As you come swimming down out of the tower and cross the threshold of the entrance of the tower, you see Earthen swimming over to you, and the two of you meet up at the base of the tower.
She's dead, and I just keep going towards the other tower.
I'm gonna go up and still get her. I'm gonna try and fit her in the bag of holding.
You're like, no, the tourist shops are open.
I mean, it's a haversack. It's not a small bag,
True,
right?
true.
So I'm gonna try and like wiggle her in there.
Oh, just curious because I meant to ask this beforehand. I know it's a completely different level. Just in the confusion of everybody kind of moving out, is there any chance I can make it back down to the merchant district and try to find the guy from 2 sessions ago just to talk to him?
You can either go I mean that's a whole event for you to go do that.
Yeah, that's I'll go do that. There's 2 other people in the other thing. So it's like,
So you're heading towards the market?
yeah.
Okay. You go swimming up the tower, Earthen, into Spot's description, describing her as dead. She's very dead. You pull out the haversack, you open it, and you begin putting her form into it and then sealing the haversack and readjusting it back over your shoulder.
Whenever in time we see Mason disappear, I would have immediately cast Sending to Spot and Earthen and say, Mason was here, he took the beacon and he disappeared.
Spot's just going to palm the little medallion that they just picked up and just kind of like, nothing to be done. Might as well go see if I can find this guy.
I'm trying to primeval awareness to undead from where he was to see if I can somehow just try and connect to where he might have went, or if he's still within range?
You would be. Earthen's used it before, so you know what Dimension Door looks like. He's also used Plane Shift before, so you'd also know what Plane Shift looks like. And it looked like he did Plane Shift, is what it looked like.
Okay, I'll look around to see if he dropped anything, or if literally anything at all.
Give me investigation as you do that. Earthen, as you finish stuffing the corpse remains of the martinet into the haversack, you hear Xanath. Mason was here. He's got the beacon. He got away.
Earthen doesn't respond. Like, he thinks back to himself, but he doesn't respond. And he's like, yeah, it's just kind of, right. And he's going to start heading towards where Wavebinder said Gorgrim would be with the whale.
Okay.
I got a 9.
A 9. Looking around the room, it's very strange. It's not made of coral on the inside. It's like you begin to realize that all the crustacean on the outside of the tower formed over time. This tower came from someplace else. The room that you and Xanath are in it's got a stone floor covered in remnants of coral, barnacles and other undersea things that would stick to it over time. The interior of the space even has a window, but it's been covered up with coral. That must have been the cracks where the light were coming through. This tower doesn't belong here, and there's nothing else in this room that you can see.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think. There is literally anything I can do. Is there, where the beacon was, is there anything there at all?
Give me another investigation check. Or survival. Either or.
Well,
they'll both mean a little something different, but you could choose.
I got a 20
in
investigation.
Okay. You go over to where you last saw Mason standing holding the beacon, and you kind of look down on the ground where he was. And as you look, you realize that there's a slight crack and bevel into the coral and barnacle surface where he was standing. And that's when you get down and you kind of tread through the water, and with your fingers you begin to peel away at the coral. There's writing on the stone floor. It was just covered by the coral. And you start peeling away at more of it and more of it. And it's a teleportation circle. Oh. And all the writing appears to be Elven, because Xanath comes over and looks over your shoulder, and it's Elven writing.
How old is this?
It looks old. Hard to tell with its condition, but it's a pre-done teleportation circle done in writing. And Xanath, you can read Sylvan, right?
I can read Elvish.
Yeah, Elvish.
All right.
There is a slight vernacular and inflection to it that doesn't make a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
But as you begin to read it, it's a teleportation circle, and it looks like its main anchor where it was designed to allow for travel is in a place called the Moonshay Isles.
This seems like it would take us to the Moonshay Isles.
Not a place you've ever heard of, except maybe Earthen would have heard of it. But I don't know if you guys shared each other's information about that, though. It's the only thing I don't know. I don't recall.
Yeah, I brought it up when we were.
Yes.
In
okay,
one of the
that's
rooms.
right.
I was like, does this remind me, because I was asking Andrew about it, if what we were seeing with the hurricane and everything reminded us of Moonshay, or something to do with that area.
So, from your memories, Xanath,
mm-hmm.
this feels like it's linked to a place that Earthen and you guys had gone in your dream state to Waterdeep to try and get the Harper back to Faerun. This tower's from Faerun. It's from a totally different world.
Oh. This tower obviously doesn't belong here, but maybe it's from Faerun. But I don't know how it got here. Or how many there might be.
Mason was elated. I mean, he planned this. He knew that the minion would distract us.
He planned the attack?
I think so. I think he knew Draxelhaven wouldn't allow him to come through, maybe? I don't know. But he wanted Draxelhaven gone, and I'm afraid that the minion might have... I don't know. I don't know if he knew Brightfin and that this was a coincidence. I don't know if he meant to come here. But he knew stuff, or he planned. I don't know. I can't tell. I just know he was absolutely elated that everything he planned worked exactly the way he wanted it to.
I feel like he's always about 15 steps ahead of us, and I don't understand how.
I don't know. This is gonna suck to tell Earthen. He is gonna be so smug about this.
I love it.
Neither he nor Spot responded when I messaged them. I don't know where they are. No, Spot didn't say anything.
He just looked at the button in his hand and kept swimming towards the market, the coral market. He's a very fixated kitty.
No.
Well, I guess knowing nothing, we would have to go back to the council.
I guess.
So,
but if possible, I would like to stay there a little longer and see if I can, again, primeval awareness, see if Draxelhaven is anywhere there, any remnant of him.
reaching out, you watch as Xanath leaves to go seek out the council. Not sure where Earthen is. Spot said he was going to go check on the Martinet. Perhaps he's still there. You're not sure. As far as you two are concerned, that's probably where he is right now. But Xanath, you begin swimming towards the council chamber. Puck, you float there for a moment inside the chamber. Inside the tower, looking down at the runes of the teleportation circle. It feels like you're missing something, but Draxel Haven is gone. Draxel Grix, the entity, no longer there. No sense of its sentient nature. While you feel a little relieved that it's not you, and wherever he is, they are finally free of Dominion's power, you're not entirely sure what Mason meant by those thoughts and emotions, but it definitely felt like he had planned Brightfin. That was part of his plan, disrupting the council. Getting the beacon was what he was gleeful about, and he was very happy to have retrieved it. It's those beacons, the lighthouse, Martinet and her lover, connection of the Shattered Isles. What's there? Why are these beacons so important? With the disunion of the four pillars of creation and Dominion being severed from the prime material plane, you feel like you saved Exandria long enough to feel that dread in your stomach. But something else is still lingering out there on the horizon. Mason's up to something. And now the assumption is he's got this beacon. Does he also have any more? Does he have the one on the Shattered Isles? And you just find yourself losing yourself in thought. As that's where we're going to finish tonight. And, oh my God, I'm not going to see you guys till a whole year. Like, I'm not going to see you till next year.
All that time for Earth to try and cool off.
I love your guys' role play. It's so fucking good. Just so good. All right. So, everybody out there, please be safe, be kind. We'll be back here in 3 weeks. January 7th is when we're coming back. The holiday break officially has kicked in for us. So, you guys go ahead and linger for a moment so we can finalize schedules. Everyone else out there, be safe, be kind, have a great holiday, and don't forget to play a game. Good night, everybody. One of these days.